Alright, welcome back. This is Ryan, as you should know by now, with Oak Harbor Web Designs, and today, well, day 2, we got something a little special today. We have an About page. So I had one of my designers put this one together. So let's zoom in a little bit, get a good idea of what we're looking at here. Pretty simple structure. Not too much crazy content. He tried switching around the footer, but I had so much trouble with the footer the first time. That is like my trophy. I'm not changing that. I did it. This is simpler, but I put too much into that footer. It's not going anywhere. So this is going to be the About page. I'll show you how to, because we're making static multi-page websites, so you're going to see my process when I create a new page, how to link them together and how to manage the navigations in the footer. So let's start cracking here. Alright, there we go. So number one, what you need to do, let's move this down here. So we're going to copy all of our HTML. So Control A to highlight everything, Control C to copy, and do Control N for new. We're going to paste. And then what I want to do is everything inside of main, I'm getting rid of. Oops, too far. And there's the main tag. And there, delete. So we have the footer and our navigation. That's what we're keeping. Control S to save. And then we're going to save this into our HTML folder. It's going to be about.html. There it is. And on our home page, what we're going to do is in this little navigation here, this is the About page. We're going to do slash, so this takes us back to our root directory, HTML / about HTML. And now it's linked. It's so easy. And one thing you would do, so we have our active class here on home. Right here, class of active menu. Now what we do, so we're going to copy this. We're going to go to our About page. And under About, we're going to put it on the About link. And we're going to take it off of the home link. And then we're going to save. So now, when we go to the About page, it will have the active menu on it. There. Okay, let me see if we get this working. Nice. Where's my... Oh, that's because I think it's position absolute and there is no header to push this down. So let's hurry up. Let's make a header. This is our main. So let's just use our section. ID equals interior. Because I'm gonna templatize this. I'm gonna use it for all the interior pages. And set up our container. So now we got this set up. We got a little container here. There we go. See, and that's the About. So we have our navigation. We have our hover state. Let us begin. So one of the reasons why I have all of my navbar and footer styles in one core styles that I use on all pages is so that I can access my footer and navigation CSS. And when I change it once, I change it in all pages. What a lot of people like to do, especially with PHP, I don't know if static site generators do this, but you can create one HTML file or snippet that you can insert via PHP includes in the header. Basically instead of using this, we just have a PHP hook that injects this here, and when you change one HTML file, you change them all. But honestly, when you're making these small 5, 6, 7-page static websites, it's really not, it's not that much of an inconvenience having 6 pages. All you gotta do is just copy and paste it and put it on all the pages. It's not that bad, especially when your navigation, if it doesn't change, your footer doesn't change at all, really, it's fine. And even if you do have to change some things, it's maybe it's a couple minute inconvenience. So I prefer the simpler static website, multi-page static sites. I don't need I don't need PHP. I don't need to inject things. Yeah, it might be a little extra work, but the simplicity is totally worth it. So we got our about page here. Now let's start doing our HTML. First off, let's grab this little comment section. All right, and let's see, landing. Let's center that. Cool. Okay. So I want. How do I want to do this? Because we got one section, and then we got another section here. So I want this to be 50% width at all times. I want this to be 50% width, but I want this to always be this amount of distance away from it. So here's how we're going to do it, and we're going to explain it. Sorry, this is a stock photo from a job I'm also working on. So we're going to explain it with good old-fashioned paint. So we got outline, outline solid color, fill, no fill. So we got this. This is our section. No container, no nothing. This is just our section without any containers. So what I want to do, I need 2 sections that are 50% width. Okay, so I'm going to make one box. I'm going to make one container that's 50%. Oops. Make one container that's 50% about. This is about, oh god, this is so off. Okay, and then another container. Just pretend that this is actually half and half. And then inside of this one, I'm going to have another container that has all the content. So this stuff. So this stuff will sit in this little box, inside this little box. And what we do is this will be 50%, this will be 50%, and then this will have margin auto left, so we'll be pushing it all the way to the right, and then we just add a margin right of, I don't know, 100 pixels, whatever this is. So that's how we're going to structure it. That's how I like to move things around. You think about what's the basic structure you need? Okay, so we need obviously 2 containers, right? And then you think about how the content needs to move within the containers. So how do you do that? Well, obviously this has to be in its own little container, and just knowing how these divs move around within their position in the HTML, just knowing that margin left auto pushes them over, margin right kind of only pushes them away from the right, and then there you go. This is pretty standard stuff. This is kind of like very, very basic web development here. This is what you got to know. So this is just basic positioning. And so let's get this down. So we don't want our container. What we want is a dot left section and a dot right section. And then inside of this, your dot content. And let's get that. Let's get this content going. So one of the nice things is this content was already written. Copy your H2 P and get it. All right, copy. Hello. Control Z. There we go. Oh, sorry. Alt Z. Alt Z squishes your code so that it all fits. And yeah, actually, let's get some more room. Alt Z squishes your code so that it stays. It doesn't just fart off into space over here. So we got that. Now we need to build our list. So inside our content, we want a UL, and we want our LIs. And inside this LI, we want our check mark. So I'm going to do an image / images, and I think it was check mark. I already pre-saved these, and all of our images, since this is purely decorative and has no inherent meaning or adding any context to the page, we are going to aria hidden it so that screen readers don't pick it up. And then, oh, no, we don't need to do lazy load. It's above the fold. So if you didn't pay attention or you're just watching this video out of order, above the fold means, this screen, this entire screen that I'm on, this is above the fold. The fold is the bottom of your monitor where other content will live, like when you scroll. So above the fold would be this. This is above the fold. This stuff is below the fold. So above the fold, you don't lazy load. It's not good practice. So let's just copy this stuff really quick. Easy peasy. Then A dot button solid. Coolly. And so what I'm going to do is on this right section, it's just going to be a background image as the background. I'm sorry, an image as the background. So background image, URL, etc., etc. So, I think I forgot to get one of these. I think I'll just grab it from here. Export as an SVG. Info. Alright, I think I forgot to save that. Okay, so this will be dictated by Flexbox. Love me a good Flexbox. So now let's, so we got this. Let's just copy paste this section for the next one. And this is going to be includes. So let's just make this includes. And then delete everything. So this is our new start. And let's just copy and paste this for the section down there too. And that's going to be executive. Alright, fancy. So obviously we're going to need a container because all of these things have to interact with each other. And the easiest way to do it is just to put it in a container and then dictate its width. So we got these three are together, so they're going to be in their own container inside of this container, and we're just going to call it item, right? And what some people would do is they would often you would create a div, right, and make that border radius 50% with that background, and then add the image inside and center it, which is probably what I'm going to do, because normally I would just have the image and then make this a pseudo element behind it and save the HTML. However, you can't add pseudo elements to images. It just doesn't. You're not allowed to. It doesn't work. So we have to work around that, and that is, looks like I gotta create a div with an image inside, and I gotta center it and set a border radius. So inside this item, I need this icon group. Inside this, I need the image. It's gonna be images vector. I think it's vector 1 is what I did. That's how I named them. And since they are purely decorative, aria hidden equals true. And again, when I put it on the container, everything inside the container is ignored. And this image, I want to do lazy loading equals lazy. It is below the fold, so I want it to load. I want it to lazy load. I don't want it to load when the website loads. And underneath this, we have our H3s. Oh, I forgot our H2 up here, what's included. So this is going to be H2, what's included. And then following our heading hierarchy, you have an H2. So if you have something smaller that's underneath it, that's got to be an H3. And if we had something else, that would be an H4. We got to follow proper heading hierarchy. We can't just do an H2, an H3, then an H1 because it's the Wild West out here. No, we have to follow these rules. So our H3, let's just zoom out. And let's grab this. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this item. So this is our complete item. Right? We got our image group, our icon group that's on top. Then we got our H3, and then underneath that we got our p tag. So just following the natural order of how they are in the mockup. And we need to do these 6 times. So I'm going to take this, copy. Well, first what I want to do, I'm going to remove these because I'm going to copy and paste in there, and I don't want to have to copy and delete. So I'm going to take this and copy it. I'm going to undo what I did, and then paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think that's all I need. Oh, I hate it when it does this. Come on. Got all weird. So item. Alright, there's item. 1, 2, 3, okay. 4, 5, 6. 7. I don't know why it was, I think I didn't hit enter once. So vector 1, vector 2, vector 3. And that's why I named them in sequential order. So it just takes a lot less time. I just changed the numbers. So when you got when you get a bunch of them in order, and naming them has no SEO purposes because it's just an icon. Who cares? Just name them vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you just put them in order and change the numbers. Makes life a lot easier. So I'm just gonna grab these really quick. This is the boring part of the video, the mundane task of just copy and pasting. And I know that you saw me skip over that informational. We're going to add that in just a second. We're just going to get all these. So I don't gotta worry about them. They're already done. Grab, 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 and grab. So you notice we got 1, 2, 3. On the 4th one, we have this little group down here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pseudo element with this as an image in the background. So this is going to be a number 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be right here. So we're going to do, let's see, 290. I guess we'll do it in a span. Because it's not quite a heading, it's not quite a paragraph. Now you don't want to use a paragraph for something that's not a paragraph, it's just a line, but it's not a heading. So we're going to use span. So let's take this, copy, and I'm trying to think how I want to do it. Because I want this to, I want to stop here, so this has to be its own entity. Let's try this out. We'll try it out when I when I get to CSS, we'll play with that. And then we got another one on 6. So this is 7, so this is 6. Okay, and looks like we got one right here. We're going to do this in class equals info. All right, so when we target one, we target them all. And that's honestly, that's it for that markup. It's not that bad. And now this, guys, so it's going to be the same deal that we did up here. We got two. We're going to have a container this time because it needs to stay within these bounds. So here's the container, and inside of it we need a dot left section and a dot right section. And I think I can get away with, yeah, I don't think I need to add another container. These are all block level, and a list. So, and I could just do padding to push this left and down. So yeah, we don't need another container. This is a new section, so we're going to do H2. And executive rentals go here. Let's do our I guess we'll use it as a P. And then we need our list. And again, we're going to do the image. So I could also add this as a pseudo element. But I've been having some trouble lately with pseudos as backgrounds on the lists on Safari. That has been bothering me to no end. So I think I'm just gonna keep, I mean, they're SVGs. It's a very lightweight site, or lightweight page, so I'm just gonna do it. Checkmark white, and then aria hidden equals true, and then loading equals lazy. Yeah, so get used to this. This is going to be pretty common here. Loading lazy, aria hidden true. And we need 5 of these items. Close that. 5. Come on. Whoops. Copy 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, and time for the sexy stuff. Let's copy and paste all of this. Yeah. I know this is what you came here for. Watching that hot text action. Alright. Here we go. So this, I think we can add an aria label to this just to describe what the background is. Aria label is executive. In a rental property. There we go. I mean, it does have some inherent value and context. It's kind of supplementing this content, so I'm adding an aria label to it in place of having an image there with an alt tag. I'm adding aria label. So when the screen reader hovers over it, it sees aria label and it just reads it immediately. Doesn't matter what it's on or what's inside of it. It will override everything and just say this, and that's what I want. And that's it. That's it for the markup, honestly. And do I want to do 3 videos of this? I think that's excessive for such a simple page. So I think screw it. We're gonna one-off this. Yeah. Why have like 3, 4 videos of like HTML, CSS mobile, tablet, desktop, dark mode? Let's just rip it. So let's get our, we need a new CSS file. So we do Control N for new and Control S for save. And then we go to our CSS and we do about.css. So this is going to be our about page CSS. We'll put this sucker down here. Move that, move that, move that. And in the about page, in our HTML, we're going to substitute style. That was the old, we copy and paste. We copied this from the index HTML, the home page. So now we're going to replace its CSS file with this one's new CSS file. And we keep the dark mode, we keep the core styles, so everything else loads as it should. And this title we're going to change to Executive Rental Tenants. Executive Rental Tenants. Park Place Properties. Okay. So we got that. Let's save. And let's bring this up a little bit. Zoom in here. Oops. There we go. So here we go. Now we got to think about how we want to do mobile. Because this is what we got right now. This is the about page. This is the raw HTML with no CSS. Beautiful. So we're gonna change that. Start on iPhone 5 SE for 320. This is where you start. It's the smallest possible screen, and you want to make sure you capture that. So God, this is ugly. So I think I want to have this as like a hero image. That's full width. So what I need to do is, I need to set interior. I need it to be a flex item, and I can make this, because if I set this flex and column, this will be on top and this will be on bottom. So I need to reset the order. So this will be order 2 and this will be order 1. Let's do it. So let me grab this just to get my CSS started. So it's going to be landing, and then I need to grab my media queries. So it's all nice and scoped and compartmentalized. That's right, compartmentalized. I think that's the word. And compartments. So take this, take this, take this. And I think we also got executive rentals, so we're going to do this. Oh, we got includes. And then executive. There we go. And now we got all of our sections and media queries set up. So let's start with here at about. There you go. It's interior. And right away, I want, let's get this right section going. Dot right section. Oops. There we go. Now let's get my background code from my cheat sheet. Grab that. And we're going to set it to about. But because this has no elements in it, it has no height and width. It has nothing to base that on. So right now it's just 0. So what I need to do is give it life. Height 300 pixels, width 100%. And there it is. As you can see, it's on the bottom. So what I need to do is, so this is right section, left section is above it. Sorry, I thought I heard some cats fighting. So so this right section, right, is below left section. So in our CSS, left section needs to go on top. I'm gonna copy this, and that's just proper CSS formatting. You always want to have your CSS kind of flow and style as you go down the page, and have all the elements in order that they appear. And your HTML should also be in your CSS. So we want to make this one order 1, no, 2, and then our right section. Let me just, I gotta bump this up a little bit. Our right section is going to be ordered 2. And then I need to do interior. So I need to set it as a flex container. And I need to set the flex direction to column because it's set by row on default. And I think that's all I need, really. Oh, that's right. Left section. Okay, so interior. Dot left section. Why aren't you working? All right, a bug. Left section is order 2. Oh, because I put order 2 because I'm. There we go. Okay, that's better. But we got a space up here. What's up with this space? Oh, we got our padding. This is from the core styles. All my sections have a padding of 50 pixels, top and bottom, just so that I can have some uniformity in my mobile. Because a lot of times, sometimes people will straight up do this with no padding at all, which is crazy. So I always, on mobile, I try to have 50 pixels on top and bottom of my content. So that's where that's coming from up here. So on interior, we actually don't want it right now. So padding top 0. Now, because this poses a problem, because it's white. So maybe I need padding top, because I need to recreate this. So maybe I do need padding top. I should make it 60. Okay, 90. Because it's got to at least clear this. Dark mode is just I guess dark mode is just going to be there. I'm thinking about it. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Maybe I move it up. Maybe I just got to move it up a little bit, you know. But for now, so we got this guy on top, because I mean, just standard stuff. When you have like these images, this image together with this content, it makes more sense visually to have it on top in mobile, because if you put it underneath, you just assume it's part of the next section coming up, and then this, like the meaning behind this doesn't make as much sense. So I always like to put them on top of the content they're paired with. Otherwise, it's like when you scroll down, it's, you know, the bottom is supposed to be the end of the section, and then you start on a new section. So we have this image to set up our visual cue, and then we have this to read about it, and then we go on to our next visual cue. So that's why I like to put this on top. And that's kind of what you should try doing on your mobile sites as well when you're transitioning from desktop to mobile. If you have right-aligned images, put them on top. That's where they belong. Otherwise, it's not going to look right. Like this, I'm either going to remove this on mobile, or I'm going to put it on top, or because they are attached, maybe I could put this on the bottom because they're attached. You know, if there is there's space between them, it's hard to discern that they're together. So that's why that might work. So we'll play with that. But for right now, let's focus on this. Now I want consistent styling. So I just need to make sure that this is good. So this is 16, and I think that's what homepage is. So let's Let's go to this. Yeah, 1M. Okay. So I'm just making sure all of my paragraphs and stuff are good. This should be 30. Okay, executive rentals. So let's start targeting that stuff. So we got interior. Just copy that. Actually, I don't like this now. Yeah, there we go. It just feels so open and weird. So we're going to add interior and then H2. Yeah, because I used a different designer for this one, so I think he missed on a couple of visual cues, like the right font sizes. But it's cool because it looks good. I'm just going to have to maneuver it so that it works with the rest of the site. Because Kyle designed this, and then we were hiring another developer, and I'm testing him out. And I had him do this because we didn't have time, and I liked it, but I think he just didn't have access to the full Figma file with the other stuff on it. So we're going to do font size 30. And is this Nova? Nexa, whatever that is, yeah. And right section. Let's do margin bottom of 50. There you go. See, that's that 50 pixels I'm telling you about. See, it just looks better. And this has to, so this, it feels like there's too much space. Like there's 50 up here, way too much down here. I don't like it. So I'm going to do a margin bottom. Let's do 20. Let's see what that looks like. That feels better. That feels closer. They feel related. And you're noticing a problem here because we don't have a container. So this is actually touching the edge of our screen. So what we need to do is on our left section, for now, we're going to do padding, 0 top and bottom, and then I like 10 pixels left and right. That's kind of where I feel good, 10 pixels. You can choose whatever you want. 15 if you want to get wild. Yeah, this is what 15 would look like. I don't know, I feel like we're on mobile. Let's try to use as much of our real estate as we can without being ridiculous. So this is the start of that. Now we got, actually our left section, what is this? This is looks like this is a color. FB. So our left section actually needs to have a background color. Of that. Now let's get, so these images are freaking wild. So either H2, and we're going to tame these images, put them in their cage, interior, UL, li image. So I want the image inside the list item, inside the UL in interior section. And I want a width of 24 pixels. There we go. That calms them down. So I want to target the li to get rid of this list style, and li is less specific. It's going down. So I want to target the li. I want to put it above because the image is the next one. Is the next step up. So I put this under that, right? And if I wanted to target the ul, I copy this and I put this on top. So you can see it just as the group gets more specific, I put that on top. I don't think I need this, or maybe I do. I need to put padding because all ULs, all lists have a padding left of like 20 pixels by default. I want that to be 0. And then this li, I want a list style, none. So I already got one. I already got my little thing there. And let's see. I think what we could do is on this, let's make it into a flex container. And then align items, which is up and down, centered. So now they're centered. Oh, but there's the problem when you do, when you do 2 lines, it's in the middle. So let's see what happens when I take this off then. So if they're up there, so now what I need to do instead, and I also need to, because you see how this overlaps it. So what I need to do, I do need to make this into a flex container, right? And I need to align them to the start. So flex start, start and end takes to the beginning and end of the container. So when I align items up and down, start is the top and end is the bottom. So I want them to start at the top up here. And what I'm going to do is on the image, so this is the child of the flex box. I'm going to give a margin top. Let's just try 5. So I'm going to push it down. I'm going to set it to the top, and I'm going to push it down. I'm going to zoom in here just so you can see it. So this is the top line, right? And see that orange? That is the margin. I'm pushing it. So I want this guy to be in the center of this line. So what I do is I set them to be aligned to the top of this line, and then I push it down until it looks about even. So this is too much right now. Let's try 3. And that looks about centered. So that way, when this thing jumps lines, this isn't in the middle either. And that's how you do that. And let's push these over to now. Margin right, I don't know, 10. Whatever feels good. Because on here, let's hold Alt. It's 16. Okay, and these are, so if this is 16 pixels, or this is 18, and then this is 18, so they should be the same, but it looks like this is, okay, this is Nexa, so I need to grab that. Core styles. I want Nexa bold, I think this is what that is. So on the LI, Nexa bold. Okay, that looks right. And let's just do, 16. What's the font size? 16. Okay, so same as that. Good, good. Now we need more space because you notice this space here. Looks like there is 16 pixels margin on the bottom. So margin bottom 16 pixels. So that separates that. And we need, hold Alt, we need 32 pixels on the bottom. So in our interior piece, so it's underneath the H2. So we're going to put it underneath the H2 in CSS. Margin bottom, 32 pixels. Okay, that should be good. And then, and we got our button. That's index. Here we go. So our button should say contact us. I forgot to put that in there. And there it is. It looks different in here, but again, I don't think he was using the right branding. So it's in here now, and this LI has a margin bottom of 32. So we're going to take this LI, and since we're going to do something more specific to it, it goes underneath. And we're going to do last of type. So the last LI, I want the margin bottom to be 32. And there it is. I love using the last of type. Very, very useful selector. So let's zoom back out. This is shaping up now. That's looking pretty good. Pretty good. And we got, so if you notice, it's very faint. But you notice the color difference between here and here. So I need to put a padding bottom on left section. So padding bottom 50%, 50 pixels. Again, like you see that space, that's the same space as up here. That's the good stuff. That's proper spacing. Like with down here, I can tell you the reasoning right now. This margin bottom is 16. This is 32. It's a multiple. You just double the space to create extra. So if you're ever wondering how to separate other elements from if you have a list like this, it's uniformity and proportions for when you're trying to space things out. So if these are 16 pixels away, and you want to create more space between the button because it's not part of this, so we need to separate it visually, just double up that margin and put it on the bottom, and now it makes sense. And this makes sense as well. See, this is 32 pixels margin bottom. So that's why this is visually appealing, because this is 32 pixels, 16, 16, 32. It's very even and proportional. That's why it feels good, and that's why it looks good. So when you're wondering about how to space things, think about it that way. How many pixels margin is it on these elements, and if you want to separate it, double it up or make a multiple of it. But yeah, that's how you should start thinking about positioning some of these elements. So now we're on here, and let's see, interior has a padding bottom of 50, and this is a padding top of 50, creating a space of 100 pixels here, which is not going to happen on my watch. So we got to put a padding bottom of 0, and now we got 50 and 50. So you see that nice and even spacing. Love that stuff, and that's what you need to be doing in your designs as well. Give your content room to breathe. It's okay to use space, but use it evenly and proportionally. So like some people might make this 80 pixels down, and this might be 50. It doesn't look right. Uniformity, do it. So now let's look at what's included. What are you? 36, let's see what that looks like. So now, oh, silly me. Take this, I forgot my 0M. You're probably asking, hey, why? What is the point? And you're right, what is the point? And it's kind of weird having a media query with a 0M or like 0 pixels. Like, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I want it to do this. I want it to collapse so that I can scroll up and down, and I can easily move about the page and all of its different media queries. So I want it to be collapsible, and the easiest way I saw doing it was just putting its own darn media query and starting it at 0 pixels. So obviously this is a mobile, tablet, small desktop, normal desktop. So I like to put everything in these neat little media queries. It just, dang it, it looks good and it's easy to use. So now let's go to the includes. And let's get these set up. If I could spell. And I want to target this guy, and you're going to be 36. I think you are the H2. Oh, here I am. I'm doing less again. I had at work today, so includes H2. I use less at work, but I don't use it at home. I don't bring work home. Font size 36. That works. I guess I could just make them all to scale. So this is going to be 24. Good, that's 24. So let's get this going. How big are you? 60. So includes dot icon, what is it, icon group. So height, 60 pixels, width, 60 pixels. And I want the background to be this color. All right, and now I need border radius, 50%. And that makes our circle. That's our quick little circle. So you see that they're all not positioned where they should be. Well, let's do it in a couple lines. Display, flex, justify content, center, so that's left and right. Align items, that's top and bottom, center. Oh my God, there they are. And what we need to do, oh, am I missing one? 2, after 1, 2, 3. Where are you at? Let me check my images. 1, 2. Oh, I'm missing a 3. Is this it? Okay, yeah, this is it. I just misnamed it. This one's going to be rename. All right, I'm doing this off screen. Factor 3. There he is. You'll notice that, we set it for icon group, which sets it for all of them. Now, rather than having individual classes, that just makes things messy. We're going to do a more specific selector. So with icon group, we want the nth of type. So we want type number 2. And we want to grab its.icon group. Now this looks a little, I don't know if you're new to this, this looks a little crazy, but we just want to target the icon group, or I'm sorry, item. I want to target the item. So if I'm going to target the item, I want this to go above it. Because now we're starting with the item. So we're starting with the item, and that's why it goes above it, because inside of it is icon group, which needs to go underneath it. So that's the reasoning why I put it up here. But I want the, so you go up here, this is nth of type 1, this is nth of type 2. So I want the second item, so I want this one, and I want to grab its icon group and set its background to, let's move it over to this color. And when I save that, that's what it does. Now I just need to copy and paste this. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I change the numbers. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this makes things easier. Do it in the CSS. Don't add a lot of classes here and start cluttering up your HTML. So now you gotta zoom out. Let's just grab these guys. So this is going to be this color. I think we're on 3. So that goes there. And then it's going to be 4. It's going to be 5. 6 and 7. So now we got all of our, oh crap. That's right, I gotta set this guy. So, let's see, icon group. I think I gotta set that one manually. That's our broom. Icon group, image, with, what was it supposed to be? 24? Okay, that's better. Yeah, that thing was just like, wow. It needed a specific width. because I think all of these they're already at that width. They're already 24, but I downloaded this one separately. I picked a different one. I didn't like this broom. It didn't look or feel very broomy. It didn't sweep me off my feet, so I went with this broom. I like that one. There's more going on. We got some action going. There's some dust. Yeah, look what we can do with this broom. So I picked that broom. Let's go back to 75. So now that we got that done, let's get this going. So this is a 20. So this is image. So let's do includes icon group H3 font size 20 pixels. Okay, and between here and here is 32. There's that number again. So we're going to do, I'm going to display block this so that I can add a margin on it. When you have images, if they're not a display block or inline block, you can't add margin, height, or padding or anything to it. But we're going to forget about all that because I don't need to put it on the image. I need to put it on the image group. Margin, bottom, 32. A nice little tidbit. And our H3 needs to be 8 pixels. And then our P's. See, I like this. This is a good example of creating visual hierarchy, not through bigger font sizes. This is 20 and this is 18, so it's not that big of a difference. But you have this bolded and darker, and then you have your paragraph text, which is like a lighter gray and not as bold. So you see how it separates it visually just with this. This looks more important, right? This is coming at you like, hey, dedicated account manager. And then this is kind of like supplemental. It doesn't overpower the space. They're not fighting each other for your attention. It's very deliberate. When you see this, you're immediately looking at this and then this. And when we zoom out, it doesn't look cluttered. It looks clean. It's not overpowering. So keep that in mind when you're doing your own little stacks like this. Is make your heading dark, bold, and make your paragraph lighter and not bold. So I just wanted to mention that because I saw it and I saw it. So we're going to save this. What's this? Looks like too much. Where are you getting this? Margin bottom. Oh, I got an icon group. I don't want icon group. I want item. There we go. Yeah, I was targeting the includes icon group, but there's no, silly me, there's no H3 in there. It's inside the item. So that was my mistake. Just picking the wrong selectors. And between, so this paragraph and this, so I want this to be at least 60. So each item, so here's item. Each item, margin bottom of 60. There we go. And we've basically already set up how they're supposed to look when we go to desktop. We've already got all the styles done in mobile. They look good. So now let's get these spans going. So we got item. I think it's gonna be item and info. Yeah. So item info. So those are gonna be the last guys. Include item. They're the last on the page. So they're gonna be last here. So it's gonna be info. Spans are display inline by default. So just like an image tag, spans will not take height, width, padding, margin, etc. unless you set a display inline block or display block to it. So like we got this here. If I wanted to make it If I want to give it a margin top, oops, margin top of 100, nothing happens because it's display inline. It's not. It's basically saying, screw you, I'm in line. You don't need to tell me where to be. I'm already in line. You're out of line by telling me to get out of line. So that's basically what it's saying. But if we add display block, there you go. See, now you can do it. So we're going to display block it, and it is, let's see, let's move this over. It is 16 pixels down from the paragraph. So let's just put margin top of 16 pixels. So that pushes that down. Now we got, let's try adding our image as a pseudo. I just want to do it. I just want to try it and see if I have any more problems. And here we go. This is my image as a pseudo element. So if we go back here, span info, so includes dot item dot info colon before, and here's the code for before. Content is almost always going to be empty. You only use this if you're going to put text in it. If you want to have text in your pseudo floating around somewhere. Position absolute, I'm actually going to make this relative. And display block is actually going to be inline block, so it will be next to it. So they'll be next to each other as inline blocks. And the background, I want to make it info. And its height and width. So I got to set this. It's going to be 24 and 24. And I mean, what's great about pseudo elements and why I like to use them is I'm sure I mentioned this before, but people that are not watching all the videos in order, pseudo elements are, they're attached to the element that they are added to, like info. So it's added to this. So, and it's positioned off of this. So if I had this position absolute and I made it go 10 pixels to the top, like negative 10 pixels to the top, it would go negative 10 pixels from the top of its element and would just go up there. And then wherever I move this element, the pseudo goes with it. So if you have like an element with some graphics around it or some shapes, create those shapes as pseudo elements that are attached to that graphic so that wherever it goes, it comes with it. And you don't have to create extra, useless, unnecessary divs cluttering up your HTML. You can just add a pseudo element, save the divs, and improve your load times. I love pseudo elements, so always do that wherever you can. And that's what I'm going to try and make work here and see if I can do it. But on this info, I think I need to make the span itself, like the inside of it. I need to make this into a flex container, and then the pseudo and the text will be the flex items. Display flex, it's flex row by default, so going left and right. And I want to align items flex start. So I want it to go to the top. And let's just see if this has it. There we go. But it's not. Let's see, contain. See, it's not doing the whole thing here. It should. It's not big enough. It's 24 by 24. So it worked, and we got. That's one of the things too. I wanted to have that line, like we did with the spans up there, or the list items. I don't want this to wrap. So I'm wondering why this. So you see this, you see the box. 18. Pseudo before 24, 24. Yeah, I remove the top and left. No. Let's make it a block. Let's see what that does. No, it doesn't do anything. If I make it 30 by 30, does that make it bigger? It does make it bigger. So now it's 22 wide. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, that's what I want. So I think I just gotta make it wider. 33. And what I gotta click on this damn thing. Interesting. See, I honestly don't know why it's doing this. It should be filling a 33 by 33 box, but it's not, because this contained sets it to only be contained within its borders that it's a background to. Well, that's just unfortunate. I wonder if that's a result of the flex. Let's try it. Let's get rid of flex. Okay, so that, yeah, now it's 33 by 30. So it looks like flex is doing something to it. So let's try this. Let's try inline block. So you see, it's like it's wrapping. So let's try. Let's see if I can do a float on it. Because floats, yeah, floats usually do that. This is one of those rare times where a float actually it works for what you need it to use. Just don't use floats. Very rarely use these things, but for this situation, it looks like that's kind of what we need. Because they are a very finicky property. Oh, there it is. It's not doing what I want now. Gosh darn it. Because to scoot this away, I'd have to set a margin bottom of like 10. Right now it's scooched. But on this, so that's 2 lines. Okay, that's our executive. Okay. Or well, let's make our margin top first, and let's get them aligned. Where do I want them aligned? So it looks like it's just a hair, maybe 2 or 3 pixels above the actual text. So this can come up a little bit. Let's try 6. That just looks like something here. That looks pretty good. And margin right looks like it's going to be 12. Not 10. Okay, so that's going to push that over. It's going to create that. I can live with this. I can do this. Let's see. Do I even need my float? Let's try that. Yeah, I kind of need it. Okay. Weird how that works, right? So that will be that. Now I think these guys are. Oh, no. This is just give me what color? There it is. 737373. So this is 737. Oh, oops. Color 737373. Font size 14. And Arial. Interesting. Let's just see what that looks like without it. Oh, what's its line height? There we go. 1.5 pixels. Is that right? That's not right. Yeah, that's not right at all. I'm just gonna do M. I always like to do 1.5 M. That's like my go-to default line height. And I don't know, do we need three fonts? I don't know if I want to do 3 fonts. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. I'm just going to keep, excuse me, burped that one. I'm going to keep this the way it is. I want to keep the same font. Unless one of my designers yells at me about it. I'm making an audible. But I'm sure Kyle or our new designer yells at me about it. This. Okay, so I want this one, I want them to be centered. That's going to be owner's portal. Yeah, that's owner's portal. So it's going to be 7. So, and we're going to grab the nth of type 7. And I want the info. So I'm going to put this here. Nth of type 7 info before. Very specific, a very interesting little line. And I want, well, let me see. Margin top 0. And there's that. Okay, good. So we just got rid of that margin so that they're both centered within the box. And that looks good to me. So that's that. Nice and easy, right? And when we get to bigger screens, all we got to do is use Flexbox to move these guys around. And now let's get to executive rentals. Which I think I might put this on top. Let's close this out. Executive. And okay, so I want left section. Let's start with the left section. So right away, what's the first thing I know? I need to make it blue. Okay, and I need to get these LIs in order because these images are getting crazy. So I want the executive left section UL li image. Or you know, I can even just save some of these. I don't need to do this. Just the image with, what is it? 24? Yeah. So there's that. I need you, li, list style, none, and I want ul padding left 0. Okay, so we got the, now this is what it looks like now. Let's try a color. Let's see who picks it up. Nobody. Alright, so now I want this one, this one, this one. So this is what it is, 36, 18, 18. We're going to do 16 for mobile. So, executive, H2, color, white. Alright, got that. And let's just, let's just take care of everybody while we're at it. We're going to do P and LI. Everybody gets it. And I need to set the padding so that these have some space. So let's try it out. So if this padding, if this is 69 and 65, so it's about the same. 69 on bottom. So left section, let's just do padding 40 pixels all around. And that's gonna be there. I think I'm gonna do top and bottom taller. And 20. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think this has to be 2 lines. So if this H2 right here, see that this one, this is 30. We need to make this one 30 as well. So H2. Anyway, 30 pixels, just to be consistent. And that margin bottom, well, it looks like their line heights are just touching. So I guess I'm just going to eyeball it because right now that's too much. Let's do 16. Coolly, that works for me. And we get our LI image. Again, we got to flex this, display flex, just like we did with the ones up there. I want to align items at the start, so at the top, and then I want to add like a margin top of like 3 pixels, and that, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what we did in the last one, and they're looking pretty good. So these have let's see, 16 pixels, margin right. Okay, those look good. And we got a margin bottom of 16 on the LI. And then also, I want the last of type. I want their margin bottom to be 0, because that's going to throw everything off. You know, 16, 16, 16, 16. And then this would be 16, which would push my padding down even farther by 16 pixels, so it would be off. It would not be the same as this. So we make the last child to not have the margin bottom, so that our padding and stuff on top and bottom can stay consistent. So that's why we do that. Let me see if we got anything else on the end here. Here we go. Oh yeah, our ULs. I knew it. This was smaller than this. So our UL has a margin on it. So let's do a margin bottom 0. There you go. That looks even. We want to think about spacing. Space here should ideally be equal. And I think this works. This is Nexa. What are you? Sans Pro. So we need to make everybody here Nexa. So let's grab Nexa Light Regular. And let's add it. I think I also got to add it to the H2. Let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. That looks awful. Let's put it on the LI. And let's put it on the P. There we go. I was checking. I think this looks fine. Line height. Let's try this 1.5M. Okay, that brings it in a little bit. This is 24. This has to be a margin bottom of 24. Push that down a little bit. So there's our executive rentals. Now, this, if we look out, see how they're even? Right, they're the same size. I'm not going to do that. You don't need to do that. So I'm going to take my creative freedom, and on mobile, I'm going to put it on top. So left section right away, I want order of 2. Executive. When I set to display flex direction column, because we want to go up and down. And then right section, I have 1, and I need to add my background. Give my background. It's going to be, I think this is the executive. So we got to set its height. Let's do, oops. Let's just do 200 for now, and width of 100%. Oh, right section. Okay, so there you are. So I want right section order 1, left section order 2. But for some reason, you're disobeying an order. So executive. What am I working with here? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I put it on executive. I need it to be on container. So the flex, if you want the flex items to do their flex thing, you have to put display flex on their container. So executive.container. And there it is. So you see, on mobile, it doesn't make sense to have an equally high image. Like, why? There's no point. So what we do, we have this extra long card, and the image that's attached to it. Let's just make it a little smaller and put it on top. So, and we just create a nice little card like this. So that's how we do that on mobile, and that's it. I mean, this is mobile. So let's shake this up. Let's go to landscape. Make sure everything looks fine. Looks fine. See, I don't like this. I don't like having them too long. That's weird to me. So I want to set how wide are they supposed to be? 352. So on my includes, my item max width of 352 pixels. So the thing is, on 5SC, it's only 320. So right now its width is 100% of its container. Now when it grows, it's going to grow with it. However, max width is going to stop it at 352. So we're going to let it grow and grow and grow. 340, 345, 350. But when it hits 352, that's when it's going to stop. So when we rotate, right, this is 100%, but we want to set a max width of 352, and that cuts it off down here. So now what I want to do is, I just gotta grab something real quick for the code to do landscape, just because it's easier to do it this way. I just have to grab it from another file that I have. There we go. I like to use it in M's. All right. So we need to do our landscape. So 30M and 47.999. This is perfect proportions for landscape. And what we're going to do is I want, like, this looks weird to have them all left aligned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything, I'm going to make everything, or no, yeah, maybe I don't have to make it centered. I was going to center everybody, right? But I'm thinking now, let's do something different. So includes, I want the container. I'm gonna make it a flex item. Display flex, and then flex wrap. So we add this style, this property, when we have a row of items, and when we have, you know, a lot of them. If you just do display flex, they're gonna break their container. They're gonna try and fit as many as they can in one row, and they're not gonna wrap to the next row. Flex wrap allows it to, like once it fills in its space, it pops in and it just wraps to the next row. And if we got more that we still have to add, pop, we're going down to the next row. So I want to set these guys. I want to do my includes.item. I want their widths to be 40% of the screen. Oh, I didn't spell this right. There we go. So that they can sit next to each other. Let's do 45. Okay, and then I want to do, let's see, I want to center them horizontally, justify content center. So they're centered horizontally. And let's add a margin around them of like 5 pixels to give them a break. Oh, let's do 10. Yeah, give them some space between each other. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do for. This is what we're doing for landscape. So I want this guy, this one, Mr. Nth Child 7 or Nth of type 7. So let's grab that. I don't want to have to copy that again. I'm just going to copy it. So Nth of type 7. So what I want him to do, I want him to align itself to flex start. So I want him to be over here. How do we do that? Well, we do this. So I want to grab includes. I want to grab the 7th item, which is this guy. And I want to align self flex start. Well, that should have did it, but it didn't. Let's see. Let's do last of type. Well, that should have done it, but apparently it's not doing it. Why aren't you doing it? Oh, it's a line. I need justify. A line is up and down. I want to justify it left and right. And I still can't do it. I still can't get it. How did I do it before? Okay, it's 1 a.m. over here. Maybe I'm just brain farting something over here, but let's see what we got. Oh, it's start, not flex start. I think the same. Well, it's a line, but I think it's the same as for justify. God bless it. Start. Let's try self-start. Does that do anything? I think I'm just going to give up on it, honestly. I think I'm done. I'm already irritated. Because, let's see what this guy says. Yeah, see that? Select start. Justify self flex start. I think that's what that 26 is, right? Box 26. Margin right auto. So let's try this. Let's try margin right auto. And that did it. There we go. Stack Overflow for the win. So there you go. Margin auto. Push this guy over. And good day. Oh, but since I margin 10, this is margin 10, top, bottom, left, right. So I reset the margin bottom here. So what was that again? 60. So we need margin 10 all around, and margin bottom 60. Now with the last of type, I don't want your margin bottom to be 60. I want it to be 0. There we go. Now we got the proper spacing between them up in here. And there we go. That's what I want to see. Now we got our executive rentals here. This little card again, that's fine. And our usual footer that we're all used to. So that's landscape mode. Always want to do that. Now let's go to tablet. And I think we can get away. I think we can make this 50%. I'm gonna try it. So landing 48. Okay, so we got interior. Okay, and then we got left section, right section. So we're gonna do display flex. That's oh, actually, it should still be display flex. So what I need to do is a flex direction row. I'm gonna reset it to row, and then I want my interior dot left section. I need to change your order back to 1, and then interior right section. I need to reset you back to 2 so that you end up on the right. And I need your width to be 50%. Width 50%. And there's that. Perfect. So what we got to do is I need enough space so that there's good space here and good space here. And that's going to come from my right section. So we got to do, let's try a height of 500. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now, I want to create space in the top of left section so I can push it away from the top. And since I want to push the interior contents around, I'm going to use padding. Padding top 100. Let's see what that looks like. Too much. 50. There we go. So I use padding so that I can push on the inside. I can push things. If you want to push from the outside, that's what margin is, where you push it away from things. But if you want to push things on the inside away from its edges, that's going to be some padding right there. And I'm going to need padding on the bottom too, just to give it that space. And then this, so how tall are you now? You are 550, so that means this needs to be 550. And see, this is too close. You don't want this. So now we got to make our padding left on the section, or padding right. Let's make that like 25. Yeah, you want a good space here. You don't want to like you don't want it to feel too claustrophobic. Let's add another 5. And 5 more, 35. There we go. That feels better. We're gonna do that. I'm just wondering if that dark mode button being here is kosher, you know, if that's like right on top of it, you know. Let's try this. Let's try putting wait, what is this? Interior padding top 100. Have more space there. Let's do 30. I guess that looks okay. You know, Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take it. And what we're going to do is we're going to flex these. So we can close this. So let's take this code that we already built for that size and just put it in here. So that gets us that. And how big are these guys? 336. I think it was 352, right? Yeah, 352. So I'm wondering if these are too close right here. So let's do our item at 45. Let's do that at 40. And let's do our justify content space between. So I want space between them. No, let's do space. Oh, how's this? Is this the line 2? Yeah. Let's do. I guess let's go back to 45, right? Because I want this aligned with it too. These are in a container. This is not. Let's put this. Let's put this in a container with it. And what's going to happen is it's going to be part of the flex, and we don't want that. So let's fix that here. We got to go back to small, and you see it's part of the. It's becoming part of it. So what we need to do is includes. Oops. Includes, and there's an H2, and we just need to set a width of 100%. And that way, see, it takes up 100% of the flex container, while these take up 45% of the flex container, and that makes them wrap. So that's what I'm doing here. And let's just copy this, put it right here. So when we go to tablet, there you go. See, it's taking up 100% of its flex container, so that it is not wrapping, because there's nothing to wrap. It's 100%. These are 45, yeah, 45%. So they fit next to each other, so that's why they wrap and they flex. And I want to make sure I got this right. This is 36 pixels. It's the margin bottom. Cool. So that's done. Oh, we got to do this. So from here to the bottom is 80. And we got a margin. We got, this is, what's the padding bottom on this? On our, yeah. That's our landing, right? Yeah. So what is this? Padding bottom 50. And this is padding top 50. No, I want this to be 80 from the bottom of this. So this actually needs to be margin. This needs to be 80. So includes padding top 80. All right, because it had to be 80 from the bottom. From the bottom of this needs to be 80. If I can spell it right. That's better. Felt like it needed more space. Okay, so we got that, and I think we can start chopping this into 50 as well. So let's go to executive. Display flex direction, row, and executive. Container, that's right, container. That's why they're not doing it. There we go. And now we need to get executive left section. Order 1. Copy and paste this. Right section, order 2. And then I think this one needs to be height of 100%. That doesn't work. Order 2, so I think I need to make it, I have to set it into manually. So let's do width 50%. Width 50%. Okay, and how tall are you? It is 436, so this needs to be height 436 pixels. There we go. And I think I need more padding here, really. Padding, let's try 60 pixels all around. No, let's do top and bottom 60, and then left and right 30. Let's try 35. I think I can live with that. So that's going to change this to 504. And I'm going to set this min height 504 pixels. Because what's going to happen sometimes, or right now, is as this screen gets bigger, these guys are going to this guy's going to shorten up onto one line probably. And when that happens, this is going to get smaller. And then this will be too big and look weird. But when we set a minimum height, that means at minimum, it has to be this height. So if its elements inside shrink or jump lines, the height will stay the same because it has to be a minimum of this height, which is also this height, so that we can keep them proportional. So that's why I did that. And on the bottom, we are 80 pixels. So I'm going to set a, I think it's padding bottom on executive. Yeah. And that pushes it nice and neat. All right, so that's that. So that's tablet. Okay. And small desktop. Look, we're already almost there. I think this is too close to this edge here. And I think I'm going to start doing that part margin left auto, margin right business that I talked about in the beginning. So here's landing, and I want to grab this, the left section. So we're going to do margin left auto. I'm going to do, I want padding left 0, padding right 0, and then a width. What are you? Close 485. What is this? 512. Let's do width 45. Let's see what that does. Not much. Let's do 420. Yeah, shrink it up. So you see that this margin auto. See how that orange is pushing it all the way to the right of its container. So now, however wide this container gets, this left section. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I want to do content. Sorry, it's late. Okay, so I want to do content. There we go. So left section is This is the section, and then this content is inside of it, pushing against it. So right now we have left section. I want your padding. I want to get rid of your padding on left and right. We actually don't need this. There we go. So you can better see it. So here's our left section. This is our container. And then this is the content that's living inside of it. So you notice the margin left is pushing against the left side of the container. It's pushing it all the way to the right. So what I want to do is I just want to offset it from the right a few pixels, which is 85 pixels. So I want to give the content margin right of 85 pixels. Normally, not here, 45. That looks like it's spaced out better. So if we look at this, so this is our section, this is our container, and this is the content. So on the left side, it's getting pushed automatically all the way to the right, but on the right, it's being pushed out 45 pixels. So that means no matter how big this gets, it stays right there. This grows, they're staying 50%, this is staying where you want it to, and it's responsive. So it works pretty neat. Let's go back to 1024. So this is going to be our like small laptop, MacBooks, 13 inches, and this doesn't look right. I don't like it. I don't like the gap. I think what I need to do, I need to set a max. So 768, I think I need to set a max container width of, 780. Because when this screen, I'm thinking about 100% responsiveness. So when this grows, this gets weird. This gap is too much. So I want the container, so where it includes tablet, container, I want its max width to be no more than 800. Then I need to set the margin to auto so it centers itself vertically, horizontally. Okay, so that's what I want. So that when we're growing, see how when we grow, it maintains a good proportion instead of being like wild on each side. So when we get to 1024, zoom out, that looks fine. I can live with this, although ideally you see this, you see they're left aligned, and that's what you want. So visually this is jarring. I don't like this. So on here, I want the container to be width 100%, max width 1000 pixels. So I think I want to do 3. Do I want to stack 3? It includes item. Let's just see what that will look like. Width of 30%. I think that looks fine. I think I can get away with it. Now, let's just take one of these. Let's line this up. So if I want it right there, right here. So what's going on with you? Oh, that's right. It's the margin. So I want, so the first and fourth child. So let's grab that. Let's just get this. Now the nth of type 1. I want its margin left 0. same deal for nth of type 4. There we go, and now they're on the same level as this. So let's take this guy back. And now that we are even here, let's make this even too. So I want to push this margin right some more on landing. So let's do 50, 55, 65. Okay, that looks about right there. So when we line this up, yeah, that looks dead on. That's what we want. You got to be very mindful of where things are supposed to align. If I didn't have a design, it's very easy for someone to just leave it the way it was, off-centered and weird. But again, visually, that's very jarring. Don't do that. Think about your spaces. So we want to line everything up like this. Now, this is longer. So that means this has to be longer. You are 600 tall. So that means interior right section has to be 600 tall. Oh, it's 650. Why does it keep growing? Oh, it's the padding. I don't need the padding on the bottom anymore. That is on left section. This is 760, so I think I need to set this. There we go. I just had to set both of their heights manually. What is this? Do I have a margin bottom on this? I do! Oh, that was totally screwing me up. That's freaking better. Okay. Now let's push this up. So this padding top has to be more. That feels better. That's good, that's good. And you see this? This is kind of looking closer to what we want it to. So now let's go, let's start setting up our style. So we want padding, top, 69, and 65, left and right. So an executive, 64. And you are executive left section. 69 pixels, 65 left and right. So that's what that looks like. And you are going to be 36. So if I do that, H2, font size, 36 pixels. Line height. Let's do a line height of 38. Usually when you do these headings, if you want to figure out what to do for line height, I like to do 2 pixels higher than the font size. So if we look at this, how it's a little close. That's a little better. Just a little better. I want to set this container as max width. So if this is 570, that's 570. That's 100 plus 70 is 70, so 1140. So I want my executive container. I want to set its max width to 1140. So that when this grows, it'll stop at 1140. And margin auto. Yeah, bud. Alright, why are you up? It is almost 2 a.m. and you want water? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's set that margin to auto. So that's small desktop. Yeah, that's basically done. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go put that thing to bed because who knows what he's doing up at 2 a.m. wanting water right now. So that is just unacceptable. So I'm gonna put little guy to bed and then I'm gonna wrap this. I'm gonna wrap up big desktop and then dark mode, and then we're done. So yeah, I'm gonna have another awkward cut here. So nope, not that. All right, yeah, it's now the next day. I totally fell asleep last night, so let's do this again. We're gonna start dark mode today, and in this video, but I feel like this needs to be pushed up some more. I don't like how close this is. So let's go to landing 64 interior. Let's try a margin top. I think it's just 40 pixels. I'll say a refresh. A little much. That feels healthier, like you had it, because this active class, when it goes on the other ones, I don't want it to be too close. So yeah, this is where we're at. Oh, first before we do dark mode, we also have to do 1300 pixels. So because this box, what is this? This is 1168. So we need to make our bigger screen. So 1168. Yeah, let's do. So it's our 1300. And at 1300, I want this to be 485 wide. Let's do 1300. And this is 425. So I want interior left section content. Width, I want it to be 485. Okay. And this needs to be like 56. I think we gotta do that over here. Interior H2. I think that will go left section. So that's 52. These are 16, but I think they're bigger, right? Yeah, 18. So all of my P's need to be 18. So this is what happens when you work on your code and you go to sleep that night. You forget what the heck you were doing. These are also 18, so our LIs are also 18. Where do they get in their style? Interior UL LI. Okay. And our margin bottom, I think that's too close. Margin bottom. Okay. Now for this, I need to make sure. Oh, we got to fix that homepage link. Yeah, index. We have to do our slash so it goes, because there's no. If you don't have that slash, it's looking for index HTML inside of this page's current folder. So when you're inside your folder, right? So this lives in HTML folder. If you don't put any file path before it, it's going to be looking for exactly this inside of its folder. So that's why we have to do our slash. Our slash basically takes us back to the root directory. So, outside of HTML and back to this area. And that's where we find index.html. So we're going to save that and then it'll work. So what's our biggest headings around here? This one's our biggest one at 40. So if that's our biggest header, maybe that's what we need to do here. Just executive rentals, make that 40. Okay, those are fine. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So these need to be 769. This is 600. So left section on 1300. So we're going to copy this, and because it's less specific than this, it's going to go on top. And we're going to do height 769, which we also have to do for right section. Okay, and then this. So I don't know how many pixels it is from the. Okay, so if I do this, that's the end of that. $96. So I want my interior left section, H2. I'm gonna push it, margin top. Well, what is it right now? Maybe it's the padding. Yeah, what's this padding top? Padding top is already 100. So I guess that's already good. So maybe we don't have to do that. Looks like we have a decent space down there. So I think that's it. Oh, we gotta push this over. So this is 85. So our right section has to be margin right of 85. That's going to scoot over. But this, oh, margin right. No, wrong section. And it's going to be on the content, left section, content. That's what this nonsense is over here. Margin right, 85 pixels. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so we got that. 1300. This max width, this width is 1000. It needs to be 1168. So this container there it has a max width of 1000. So we're going to change that on includes 1300. Max width 1168. And these guys should be 347. That's 374, 352, 347, 347, 352, 347, 347, 374, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to keep them 350. I'm going to just make them 350. Just a nice even number. I don't like them. Get out of here. I don't like them being different lengths. So includes item 350. There we go. That looks a little better. So I think these are all spaced out the way they're the ways that they're needing to be spaced. And now we just gotta get this, which is 1140. So this container's max width is 1140, so that's good. And I think, did we already set they're all at like 69, 65, yep. So I think this is all set up already. And that's it. So now let's do dark mode. Let's just zoom this out. And when we hit dark mode, we already have some inherent dark mode styles just from our dark.css. So when we hit this, what are we missing? We're obviously missing this. So that's interior, that left section. Let's I mean, we could. Let's see. So I don't want to mess up my. It's already got a lot in it. Let's. This basically has all my core styles for dark. Do I want to add all? So it's up to me. Do I want to add all of these dark mode styles to the one dark mode sheet, or do I just want to add dark mode to its individual pages? Which I think if I just add dark mode to the individual pages, it'll just be easier than having to go find them. Dark mode. Let's go ahead and copy this media query so that we can collapse it. So body.dark mode. Get a little space there. And I want interior left section. Background, let's do var light. Medium. I guess it's a little better. And then we're going to have to copy this again. ULLI color white. And let's throw an opacity of 0.9 on that. All right. So that's taken care of. These are taken care of. Now this needs to be that darker version of that blue. Where is that? If I go back to home, let's grab it. It's going to be this. So I'm just going to put you over here. Okay. And I want to do body.dark mode. And I want you. Executive left section. Background, copy, remove, paste, and there, it's a little darker. You know, more in style with dark mode. So I think that's good. That's dark mode. That's all ready to go. Now, this isn't actually about. This should go under services. So the active menu should be on services. So I'm going to change that, and now it's on services. So what we need to do now is I need to make extra pages for because we have executive, long-term, and short-term, and we're going to basically be using the same template. So what we do to do that. I'm going to copy this. Let's make this full screen, and let's split you right. Oops. Just to make this easier to see. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to hit Control N for new. I'm going to paste, and this is basically our new template. So I'm going to save, and in HTML, this is going to be short-term rentals, and you see save type as HTML, so that's cool. And what I need to do actually, it's not about, it's got to be executive rentals. Cool. So we got that. We got short-term. And just in case we need to target anything special for the short-term rentals, I think we should have a short-term CSS. And see, this is plain text, so we want to save it as .css. So that's short-term CSS in case we need it. So we got to add it. So where it has about, we're still going to use the about styles, but if we do anything that we want to override that, we're going to add that on the bottom, because just like CSS and how everything on the bottom overrides everything before it if there's conflicts, when you have these links, if there's conflicts, so like if dark.css is targeting the same class as about, dark.css is the most recent one, and that will be loaded. So that's why I add short-term rentals, because if I want to override anything in the about CSS, I want it to win, so I put it above it. And this is going to be short-term rentals. All right, so we got that, and then all I got to do is copy and paste the content. So I got the content in the Word doc. I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to copy, and then new, paste, save. So short term and then long term, and then change this up here, the title, because it's easy to forget about the title up here. Long term. Oops, long term term? No, one term. So we got those, and they're all under services, so they all have the active menu under services. And I might need to make this. I might need to make this a drop down. Damn it! I think I gotta make a drop down. So let's put this over here. Split down. Let's get my CSS all out of here. This is only HTML. Okay, so because I could have a services page where I have all the different options for long-term, blah, 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 blah. But that also increases our, it's called a crawl budget. You don't want, so you want everywhere on your page to be found in as few clicks as possible. So if you have a page that is hiding behind like 4 clicks, like you cannot get to this page in less than 4 clicks on your website, that's just poor website structure, because you only get so many. It's called the crawl budget. You only get so much that the Google bot will want to go through. So if you do have a page that takes many clicks to find, you want to improve the way your website kind of operates. You want to bring that closer, like 2 clicks. I think the minimum you should shoot for, like the min max, is like 3 clicks. But if you can do it in 2 clicks, that's I think that's kind of what Google's looking for. But sometimes if you have an interior page and then you have an extra thing related to that interior page that you click on, that's cool. That's that takes let's see, so you click the home page, so that's 2 clicks, right? And I think that's as deep as you want to go. So I think I need to have, because these that's where these are going to go, right? So when we link, let's link these while I got y'all here, right? So cards. So here's the href, and this button's going to lead to it. So this is short-term rentals. So we're going to do / to go back to the root HTML folder / short-term, and that's how you link that. Same thing, / HTML / long-term, and then / HTML / executive. And now these will go to the different pages. So if we click on short-term rentals, we're on short-term rentals, right? It's up here. I didn't change it here. So I just have to go through and change all the content. But that's the point of an interior page. You don't need to make unique designs for every page in your website. That is just overkill. And studies have shown that they don't really matter that much. The home page is where you catch people, and then the interior pages is where they go to learn more. You've already got them. Now just give them the information, not a lot of flash. Break up the content in little bite-sized chunks so that they can read it. Nobody wants to see long, gigantic paragraphs. And that's it. So this, we don't have to make an executive short-term and long-term page. We just make the same interior page and change the content, or maybe add some content, etc. So that's kind of how you budget your time more wisely when you're building these websites. They don't have to be these grand, crazy, every page unique things that takes you weeks or months to do. if I build a website from scratch, I just use my interior pages for contact and interior. So this is going to be a new interior page, actually, because I had our new guy design this, so this will be in my repertoire now. But I only really ever design a homepage. And I don't know if you click through all the videos for this whole thing. So far, I've only taken like 13 hours maybe to put all of this together. And this is an entirely new website. And some people might spend weeks doing this, but it's just a matter of simplifying your workflow and making your life easier by not reinventing the wheel every time. Like I use the same navigation bar for everything. That saves a ton of time. That saves like 5-6 hours maybe right there or more. So that's what we're going to do now. And so I have a templated contact page. So what I don't think you need to see that, honestly. It's just copy and pasting again. But so you saw us make this responsive again in dark mode. Everything works. And now we got our templates together. And all it is now is just piecing together the content, adding that contact page. And this is like ready to go. So that's just the rest of my job right now, is filling in content for the other pages. Otherwise, this thing is done. So the other thing I like to do is, I think I might have forgotten to mention in the other videos, is it's called a CSS pre-processing. So I go to autoprefixer.io. Okay, like these are the browser prefixes. Like when you have transitions or grid, not all browsers treat it equally, so you have to have these browser prefixes, like background gradient, etc. So what I do is I highlight all my code with Control A. I copy it, we paste it in here, and this is all of the prefixed code now. So if I scroll up here, so you see display flex. Well, actually, you have to do this so that Safari and everyone else will recognize it, and you got to do this for this. Like, it gets annoying. So like flex order right here, line start. It does it all for you. So all you do is just copy and then highlight everything, paste it, and now it's prefixed. The only problem is you got to recollapse all of these, but a small price to pay for prefixed code that will work on all browsers. Because that was one of the things starting out, was like when I first started doing this without a prefixer, I was wondering, how the hell do I keep track of all these prefixes? And this is just more work to have to type out this stuff, and I have to do a property 3 times in multiple different ways, like this. This right here, autoprefixer.io. So let me check my this style. Let me just make sure. Yeah, see, this transforms need to be prefixed. I didn't prefix this at all. So we're going to copy, paste, take this, copy, paste, and there we go. Now we're prefixed. So see, it's got the clip path. Without this what do you call it? Prefix. The clip path that we made, that little triangle on home. This guy. This won't show up on Macs. You need the prefix, or else it won't show up. So it's just those little things that annoy the hell out of you as a developer. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to collapse all my buddies, because man, is this code easier to look at when you don't have all this mess going around and everything is just chunked up in little bits. Oops. So I highly recommend setting up your code in these little media query chunks. I just started doing this maybe a month or 2 ago, and I can't imagine not doing this anymore. Like, this is, when you look at the side here, you can easily click between all the sections of your website. Like if I wanted to go to the landing, there it is. If I wanted to go, if I'm looking at here, like the how to get started, so it looks like it's kind of in this area. Oh, there it is. All right, let's get started. Which size? So yeah, definitely do that. But overall, I think we're good. So you learn how to kind of create multiple pages in a multi-page static website, and how to link them. So when we click on services, that doesn't go anywhere. Let's pick a spot for this to go, just so you can see. So in the navigation services, let's just have it go to HTML/. Let's just have it go to executive first. Oop, too many slashes. Okay, we're going to save. So it's going to go to here. All right, executive rentals. And when we're on executive rentals, see this little active state? It's because it's got the active class. And this active class is really, it's just adding a border bottom to the active menu. That's it. It just adds a border bottom. So on all of your individual pages, like if I went to the contact page, so it has a class of button solid on it. If I was going to go to the contact page, I don't think it needs it because that's a bad example. But if I was on FAQ, now I would just copy and paste this class and put it on FAQ and remove this on the FAQ HTML. So it's just manually moving over the active class, and that's one of the drawbacks of not using PHP or some other server-side language, or you can just set it once and forget it. But it's a small price to pay for having simplicity. All you have to do is copy and move over classes for what, 5-6 pages, whatever. That's not bad. So I think that's it. So we got the about page done, fully responsive, and dark mode enabled. The rest of the pages are going to be just like this, basically. So they're all going to have this, and they're all going to have some sort of content, maybe not like this, but yeah, and then I have this at the bottom. So you get the idea. I'm not going to design 7, 8, 9 unique pages. That's just not how you need to be doing things. But I think this is the end. I'm going to wrap up this playlist series, and I hope this is helpful in any way. So thanks for watching this long.